Imagine waking up one night to find the sky ablaze with unfamiliar lights, pulsating, shifting, and descending with an eerie precision. At first you assume it's a meteor shower, a rare celestial event, but then the lights stop, suspended, motionless, as if watching, observing, waiting. Then, a sound. A deep, resonant hum that vibrates through your bones. It doesn't come from the sky, but from beneath the earth. For centuries, mankind has looked to the stars, searching for answers, believing we are the pioneers of the universe. But what if we were never alone? What if, long before we even learned to walk upright, they were already here, watching, planning, waiting for the perfect moment to reclaim what was once theirs? This is not just another sci-fi fantasy. This is the story of the first and only time Earth was nearly conquered by an extraterrestrial force. A battle so catastrophic it was erased from history. A war so unimaginable, only traces of it remain, buried beneath our feet, hidden in ancient ruins encoded in myths we dismissed as fiction. But now, the truth is resurfacing, and the signs are everywhere. The forgotten warning deep in the Amazon rainforest, a team of archaeologists unearthed something they were never meant to find. A monolithic structure predating all known civilizations. Strange carvings covered its surface, not of gods or kings, but of something else, something not human. Among the glyphs, one stood out, a warning, a prophecy. It spoke of a time when the sky would open and they would return. At first, historians dismissed it, a mere legend, an overactive imagination of an ancient civilization. But then the artifacts began whispering, not metaphorically, literally. Scientists analyzing the monolith detected an ultra-low frequency signal, a pulse so faint it was nearly imperceptible, until they amplified it. The sound was not random, it was a message, a distress beacon. Something was trying to warn us. But from what? And then the lights appeared in the sky. The return of the architects. They came not as diplomats, not as explorers, but as conquerors, a species far older than humanity, older than Earth itself, a civilization that once ruled over this planet in an age before recorded history. They were the architects, a hyper-intelligent race that had seeded life across galaxies, including our own. But Earth was never meant to belong to us. Eons ago, something drove them away, an extinction event, a cosmic war, a force even greater than themselves. When they left, Earth became a cradle for new life. A new species evolved, us. But we were never supposed to exist. To the architects, we were an infestation, a mutation that should have never survived. And now, they had returned. To correct that mistake, the invasion didn't start with lasers or bombs. No, that would be too simple. They didn't need weapons to conquer us. They used something far more terrifying. Imagine waking up one morning and feeling different. Your memories are intact. Your body feels the same. But something is wrong. Your thoughts are not entirely your own. At first it's subtle, a whisper in the back of your mind, an intrusive thought that doesn't belong to you. Then it grows stronger, a voice, calm, commanding, inescapable. You try to resist, but how do you fight something that exists inside your head? You are no longer in control. This is how the invasion truly began. The silent takeover across the world. People started behaving strangely. First, it was isolated incidents, individuals waking up with missing time, forgetting entire days. Scientists, politicians, military leaders, acting like themselves but different, as if they were following an unseen script. Then the pattern became undeniable. They spoke in the same tones, used the same phrases. Their eyes lacked something, emotion. No, humanity. These were no longer individuals, they were hollow vessels. Something was hijacking the human mind, one person at a time. A neural invasion, unlike anything ever recorded. The architects weren't interested in a war. They didn't need to fight. They were simply rewriting the software of our species. And soon, there would be nothing left of us. The ones who remembered not. Everyone was affected. A few, scattered across the globe, were immune. Why, no one knew. Maybe it was genetics. Maybe it was chance. But they all had one thing in common. They could hear them. The architects weren't just controlling people. They were speaking to them, issuing commands in a language beyond human comprehension, a frequency so low it was felt, not heard. And those who were immune, they could intercept the signal. These individuals, scientists, hackers, outcasts, began to connect the dots. Governments denied everything. Media was manipulated. But the truth was undeniable. Humanity was no longer in control of its own fate. The immune survivors formed an underground resistance, the last free minds. And they had a theory, a terrifying, impossible theory. The architects weren't just controlling people. They were preparing something. Something buried deep beneath the earth, something that had been waiting for millions of years to be awakened. Something that, if unleashed, would mean the end of everything. The world above remained oblivious. Nations continued their charade, governments operating as if nothing was wrong. The media pushed distractions. Scientists who spoke out disappeared overnight. But deep underground, in abandoned bunkers and forgotten tunnels, the last free minds worked tirelessly. They weren't just trying to survive. They were trying to uncover the truth, and then they found it, the awakening. Below, beneath the ruins of an ancient temple, one older than any known civilization, there was something impossible. A structure, not built by human hands, a vast underground complex and pulsing with energy. A machine, not just any machine, a control system. The architects hadn't simply returned to reclaim Earth. They had left something behind long ago, a failsafe, a hidden mechanism buried deep beneath the planet's surface, and now it was activating. As the free minds explored the depths of the structure, they discovered something chilling. The invasion had never ended, because Earth was never ours to begin with. The forgotten war millions of years ago, before humanity existed, Earth was a battlefield. Two ancient forces had waged war across the stars. One of them, the architects, had sought to claim Earth as their own. The other, a species lost to time. The war had been cataclysmic. Continents had been reshaped. Oceans had boiled. And then silence. The architects had won, but at a cost too great to bear. They had left Earth, but not without leaving a final safeguard, a network of hidden machines, an override switch for the planet itself. And now, after countless millennia, the switch had been flipped. The planet was rebooting, restructuring, preparing for its rightful owners. And humanity? We were nothing more than an anomaly, a glitch in a system that was never meant for us. But there was still one unanswered question. Why now? What had activated the architect's failsafe after all this time? Then they found it. The final piece of the puzzle. An anomaly in the signal. A disturbance. Something had woken up. Something buried far beneath the surface. Something that had been waiting. The answer had been right beneath our feet all along. For centuries, humans had unknowingly dug too deep. Through mining, drilling, and nuclear testing, we had disturbed something buried for eons, something the architects had fought to keep locked away. It wasn't just a machine, it was alive. The entity below, deep in the Mariana Trench, hidden beneath miles of crushing darkness, lay the source. The free minds intercepted the signal. The strange rhythmic pulses were not just a transmission, it was a heartbeat. Something was stirring, something ancient, something that the architects had feared enough to abandon an entire planet. But before the free minds could act, it happened. Across the world, the architects' control intensified. The infected, the hollowed, became something more. Their bodies twisted, reshaped by unseen forces. Their eyes turned pitch black. They had only been the first phase of the invasion. Now, the architects were preparing for the second, the terraforming. Begins, the sky turned dark. An artificial eclipse. Massive, impossible structures erupted from the ground, black monoliths stretching toward the heavens. Cities were engulfed. Oceans churned with unnatural tides. The atmosphere itself was changing. This wasn't war, this was extermination. Humanity was no longer just an unwanted species. We were in the way, and deep below the entity, the one thing even the architects had feared, was awakening. The free minds had one last chance. They could let the architects reshape Earth, transforming it into something unrecognizable. Or they could take the ultimate risk. They could awaken the entity first and pray that whatever had been locked away was on our side. The free minds had no choice. Humanity was already losing, cities crumbling, oceans rising, the hollowed marching like mindless puppets. The architects' terraformers reshaped the very essence of the planet, but the architects had made a mistake. They had left something behind, something they had feared. The free minds gathered at the deepest point of the Mariana Trench. The pressure alone should have killed them, but the ancient structure, the prison, protected them. Inside they found it, not a creature, not a god, a weapon. The last hope, it was neither machine nor flesh, it was something in between, a remnant of the war. A being that had been imprisoned when the architects first conquered Earth, a being so powerful that they had sealed it away rather than risk destroying it. The free minds had no way of knowing what would happen if they released it. Would it see humanity as an ally, or just another invader? There was no time for doubt. With the architects moments away from total planetary takeover, the free minds activated the final sequence. The ocean trembled, the sky cracked with unnatural lightning, and then silence. For a moment, the world stood still. The hollowed stopped moving, the terraformers halted, and then from the depths it rose. The reckoning. The architects had built their invasion on control, but now they faced something beyond their understanding. The entity, the last remnant of the forgotten war, was awake. It didn't speak. It didn't send signals. It simply acted. The hollowed collapsed where they stood. The terraformers crumbled. The architects' structures, those massive black monoliths, began to implode. Across the world, the architects' grip shattered, but the free minds had made a terrible miscalculation. The entity wasn't just fighting the architects, it was cleansing. The planet. The sky burned, the oceans boiled, the very fabric of reality trembled. Humanity had traded one conqueror for another. The final choice. There was only one way out. The free minds realized that the architect's technology, the fail-safe that had doomed Earth, could be reversed. Not to destroy the entity, that was impossible, but to seal it away. One last time. The final battle wasn't one of weapons or war. It was a battle of minds, of control. The free minds, using the very technology the architects had used to enslave humanity, turned the signal against the entity. It screamed. The Earth itself shook. And then, darkness. When the dust settled, the terraformers were gone, the hollowed were no more, and the sky, once blackened by the architects, was clear again. Humanity had survived, but something was different. Beneath the surface of the world, in places no human eye could see, the entity still stirred, not awake, not dead, waiting. Because this was not the end, it was only a delay. The invasion had failed, but the war had only just begun. What do you think? Was humanity ever truly in control of its own fate? Or are we just temporary occupants of a planet with a much darker history than we ever imagined? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more deep mind-bending stories like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to XenoChronicles, because the universe is watching.